with the open sim wheel, that washing machine motor steering wheel. There's been a lot more 3D printing with this as it goes. From sitting down to the handycam to do a shaky tour of what's been done. So the first, most obvious part of what's happened is the car is now no longer on the rotisserie. This is the first time it's sat on its own wheels for about 6 years, I'd guess. It's kind of woeful, but at least it's down now. That was brought about by me getting the rest of the suspension parts in. I got some wheels that fit, and I finally got the hydraulic clutch release, hydraulic slave cylinder, concentric slave cylinder. Took a lot of work to get that. For the gearbox, still don't have the master for that, but it's in there now, and it means that the gearbox and everything's in place. Stop saying Got a tail shaft, modified it, made it fit. Had to order that from Malaysia. I should have probably unpacked that a bit better. I've made the exhaust. Now it's all full stainless. Bits I had laying around and bits of eBay goodness. Had to chase I already had the starter motor. I think. That was no trouble, unlike everything else. Then I was going to go for the electric water pump, but I decided to just go for the Golby's kit that just puts the pulleys like this, and got a new water pump. I thought, for the amount of I'm going to have a lot of spare horsepowers, so sacrificing a couple to do this the easy way is probably the way to go. Managed to chase a used balancer, a tiny chip out of it in there, so when I was drunk one night I compensated for the chip. Let's see how that goes. Alternator, I have no idea what the alternator's out of. It didn't actually fit. Had to machine a bit out of there to get the belt in line, but the person I got it off said that this particular belt setup is crap because it chucks belts and slips. I've got a theory that it was installed crooked. Anyway, that's conjecture. The manifold that's been around for years is now on. Gate is on. Everything's pretty much in. All the lines are almost run. Where am I? I'm getting lost. Oh yeah, I had to just clip to something else here. I had to shift the back of the gearbox, like the extension housing. Had to make an extension housing for it, back a couple of inches to make it line up with the tunnel hole. And just today I've 3D printed some pieces up to make the various lines come up through the tunnel without fouling or rubbing. Had to get the cube short shifter because the Toyota one that was on that box was completely on the wrong angle. It was going to hit the dash, well, the center console, which wasn't good at all. Something I have done that's completely stupid is binned the wiring harness in a clean out. It's really regrettable at the moment, but that's another big opportunity because I'm going to DIY CAN bus the whole vehicle. Anyway, that comes with the wiring. I've got all the wiring parts now, and I've got why is it in the 3D printer? Yeah, that's the new enclosure for the 3D printer. Allows me to print ABS without it warping and without having to have a tent that fell over on the desk all the time and got leaks and tended to cause all sorts of problems. Got the Mega Squirt out of the Sigma. It's an MS3X. It was originally in this car running an RB20, and then it got thieved for the Sigma project, as did most of the front end. Stop saying AEM wideband, that's a CAN bus one. That's where this whole, well, it's part of the reason this CAN bus project has come along. Now, speaking of that, here's something I've buried earlier. This was a first prototype, or a second prototype almost, of a CAN bus headlight node. What that means is I have a Arduino board with a CAN bus receiver, and then one of these, I've got a better look at one here, one of these test boards. There's a turner on it. I started using JLC PCB to prototype boards. This is a, it's pretty old now, but it's an incandescent SPI controllable headlight chip. It's pretty cool. It doesn't need relays at all, and if it detects a overload, it shuts down. If it detects open circuit, it throws an error. It's dimmable. It's pretty cool actually. I mean, no relays, and I'm only going to have to run power cable to the unit and the CAN bus cable around the car as a modern car would. And as much of the car as I possibly can, I'm going to run like that. So there'll be the loop from light to light, well, probably. So there'll be the loop from light to light, back through the car, through the ECU, back up to the middle. There'll have to be some sort of I/O controller there for all of the speed signal and heater controls, reverse lights, store controls, everything else. Then probably come up into the cluster. An idea to have a matrix RGB LED set up in there. I'll link, or make a picture pop up for that. Feed back through the car, come back to the back, and then there'll be a fuel controller and a set up all in CAN bus to tell the fuel pump to come on and what speed to run at, and what the fuel level can be sent back over the bus to come up on the dash, and then back through the tail lights to the final node, which will be in this back corner. So that's going to be quite an interesting project. So there we go, rough and ready update, break of the silence. I need to really get back in the swing of this again. To say thanks for everyone who has subscribed, even though it has been silent. There's quite a few more of you now, which is awesome. Hope I can get enough content out there to keep all of you happy, whether it be for the gaming or for the cars or for the electronics side of what's on here. If you want to see more of what I tend to do, probably follow me on Instagram. I spam the story section of that quite a lot. Just to keep me entertained. It gets a bit quiet on there too, so I think if it's quiet, then why not post on there? I'll put that up on it there now. Anyway, cheers for watching. Hopefully this is not going to be another big silent spell again.